the WHO and on Gaza. So firstly, why are you here in Jordan? Why is it so important to you?
I think
Today, Junior?
You can do it. Yeah. No. We're going to give Harry a little bit more time to think. Help him out a little bit. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle couldn't even be bothered to go sit at her father's hospital bedside while he gets fitted for a new prosthetic leg. Yet both Meghan and Harry kicked off the next leg of the worldwide privacy tour and faux royal tour number 3. The juicy part, Karma did a little pop and said, "Hey mates, what's going on?" See, the California couple didn't just get snubbed in Jordan. The rejects got rejected because someone sniffed out disaster tourists. No red carpet, no royal welcome, no king, no queen, no crown prince, not even a courtesy cuddle, a cute kiss, or photo op like Prince William and Princess Catherine received in 2023. Meghan and Harry, to me, appear like they are obsessed with wanting the Prince and Princess of Wales to know anything you can do, we can do it much better. That's why they took up residence at the same £3,000 a night royal suite at the St. Regis like they did. They left the Montecito moon bumps back home, not just to cosplay this time, but to copycat. Look how that worked out. We just saw proof of that in the video. Real royals don't have to ask for access. Real royals are welcomed everywhere. Freelancers, on the other hand, well, they got to fleece their networks in order to freeload everywhere. I got to say, this trip, tone deafness was off the charts, even for the Hollywood hillbillies. They claim to want privacy, yet they publicize every public appearance like it's Meghan's 25th birthday for the 35th time. If they want to help, you just help. You do it quietly, privately, and you don't take out an ad for it or put out a press release so everybody in the media can cover it. You just help. Otherwise, you end up like a late-night punchline.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former prince and current river corpse, has been arrested and now may be banned from ever taking the throne. In fact, the royal family said the only way he can become king is if it comes down to either him or Meghan.
The Meghans injected themselves right into the center of one of the top 3 biggest geopolitical crises of the moment. They just waded in neck deep. Question is why? Because while Andrew's under investigation, the king is facing one of the biggest royal scandals of his reign. Police are raiding properties. You have the Meghans who are kicking off the rogue royal tour throughout the Middle East. They crashed a British embassy party and freaked out the UK Foreign Office, met with WHO leadership, spoke about aid corridors in Gaza, and then held a UN roundtable as private citizens.
The fact that I think most of us should probably just appreciate that everybody, or at least 99% of people on planet Earth, are dealing with some form of unresolved grief, trauma, and or loss.
So again, thank you so much for all of your efforts. I look forward to continuing the conversation, especially with Dr. Tedros, about how when funding does come in, it feels ring-fenced, to be able to liberate that.
The tune changes, but the words always remain the same. You got on one side Harry, the world's greatest mental health expert in his own mind. The guy who wrote Spy is still talking about trauma and grief. On the other side, you have Meghan Markle. She's talking about liberate the funding. Think about it. Liberate the funding. I translate that California ease into how much do we get? Show me the cheddar, baby. I once met a surgeon. He handed me his business card and it said, "Have knife, will travel." I was like, okay, interesting, kind of cool, kind of creepy, a little terrifying. But what do you think the public would say is printed on the Meghan's business card? You think it's kind of like the got milk ad? Like, got money, will exploit anyone, anywhere, anytime. Just keep the cameras clicking. And on the back of the card, by the way, that's V for Venmo. QR code included. Now, I'm not going to show you the video clips of the Meghans holding vigil in a hospital at children in crisis or at their worst moment, like a lot of other channels do. Just not going to do it. God bless them, they can. I'm not the Meghans. I refuse. But I want to show you this clip. See if you spot something out of place. That little thing that makes the hairs on the back of your head stand up.
How long have you been here? قد صار لك هون حبيبي؟ شو عندك لوكيميا؟
Did you catch it? Spot that one? Anytime there's a discussion about trauma, tragedy, survival, or suffering, or a child who just shared that he had leukemia, someone smiles. I mean, we've seen this before. Last October in 2025, Meghan was given a speech for Project Healthy Minds, you know, the organization that's supposed to help parents who lost children. Serious, severe, thoughtful, contemplative, maybe? No. Smiling.
But our work continued for years, quietly, and then in 2023, we connected with the Social Media Victims Law Center. We met with a group of American families whose lives were forever changed by the online harms that ultimately created the tragic fates of their children.
That right there, it's one of the many reasons why I cover the Meghans. This, to me, it's not just another celebrity gossip tale, not another tale of Hollywood hypocrisy, not even the way I see them as the prime example of rotten Western society. We're talking about a pair of posers who are playing very dangerous games to change the world you're living in. Power games, political ones. And what they do is while you're watching the right hand and the big headlines talking about wrinkled pants and the latest photo op safari, the left hand does all the dirty deeds. Out of sight, out of mind.
Why is the Sussex's trip to Jordan so controversial?
Well, it's so controversial because they weren't asked to do this. They weren't given the authority to go away. And how badly they've behaved has shocked everyone, including the British ambassador and everyone else. I do think that. And I think he's doing it because he wants to undermine the UK and to the head of the country, which is his father. And I think it's a way they can smash that down because some of the things he said were absolute rubbish.
It's clear the Meghans want it all. We've known that for years. They want their cake and eat it too, but the results haven't panned out for them. So I don't really think it matters if they hired Sunshine Sachs or spent their last nickel on the greatest PR firms in the world. No one has figured out how to stop Harry from being Harold or stopping Meghan from being Meghan. They failed in Hollywood, got canceled by Netflix, ended up as a punchline in podcasting and as a meme for failing in business. Yet, the pair from Montecito, now, the way I see it, believe they found their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Freelance foreign policy, access without a mandate, spectacle without service or accountability, not elected officials, just two private citizens globetrotting around the planet with a press team and a prayer. That's a lot of work for Meghan Markle. Remember, both of them, they only work an hour a week according to their tax records. And now she has to juggle multiple roles. She unveiled it last week, her new part, ambassador to the world. And this, all while she has to keep up her performance as Harry's mommy and trying to doppelgang Angelina Jolie. But here's the thing, funny. Jolie is a renowned humanitarian. She has credited with 60 field missions. Meghan Markle, 60 wardrobe changes. You can't just one day go, I'm the diva of raspberries on Tuesday and turn around saying I'm Angelina Jolie light on Thursdays without the audience being able to spot the wardrobe change. Good news, you can never fool children. The latest story with Meghan and Harry, it's much bigger than being snubbed by Jordanian royalty, much bigger than another photo op, much bigger than a money grab. We're talking about two people who represent no government in the world, just themselves, how they got front row seats to an active global conflict. That's not representing the monarchy. That's not even merchandising it. That is the House of Montecito practicing shadow diplomacy to undermine the British monarchy for anti-monarchist forces. Shame the crown, bring down the king, get Meghan applause. But here's the part that matters. You don't get invited to a political roundtable unless powerful people want you there. That's not accidental. That's not organic. It is coordinated access, and access always comes with expectations. Look who invited them. The Director General of the World Health Organization. And ask yourself, what does he think of the British royal family? And that's who the Meghans are partnering with.
Dr. Tedros, who, by the way, isn't actually a doctor, head of the WHO. No, he's not a doctor. Head of WHO. If you look into Tedros's background, he was a member of a hardcore Marxist regime. And here's a man who's invited Harry and Meghan. This is a man who doesn't believe in royalty, doesn't believe in monarchy, has got Harry and Meghan there. Who else is behind this? Yvette Cooper. She got Harry into Ukraine. Look, come on, we know Labour don't like the monarchy either.
In my opinion, she who must be obeyed in her ginger handbag are getting revenge against the royal family for not getting the half-in and half-out deal that they always wanted. So they're aligning themselves with new friends who have the monarchy in their sights. Break down their plays, you're going to see the whole chessboard. Every move the Meghans make creates confusion. Every appearance blurs the lines, and blurred lines are leverage. That's not charity. That is power positioning. There's only one problem. Everyone who hates the monarchy, they're counting on Harry to deliver the goods. They're counting on him to hit a home run using his head. Good luck.
The food, the aid corridors need to be opened. They're currently not. And I know that Dr. Tedros has already talked extensively about food and medical supplies, you know, the basic needs for full access for humanitarian organizations to be able to deliver that aid to the people that need it the most.
Either Harry can't read, or like Meghan Markle, he doesn't Google. I just did a quick search, and I found an article or press release from January of this year put out by the World Health Organization, and it contradicted every single word Harold just said. It pretty much stated that 100% of basic food needs are being met, and it's the first time since 2023. But I guess, you know, that's the Montecito way. They're allergic to facts. After all, we're talking about Harry, the same man who recently said that his 5-year-old, you know, pulled up a seat next to him, was like, "Daddy, let's talk about military matters and landmines." That's the guy the WHO wants to trust. Strange times we're living in.
It's hard because kids, they'll always ask the right questions. There's no filter. Archie was asking about landmines. I was talking about how some of these guys were blown up. I think IEDs, improvised explosive devices, is probably a bit too much at this stage. But I found myself talking to him about mines who's 5 years old. And interestingly, it gave me a chance to talk about my mum, his grandma.
That's the guy who could have been the Governor General of Canada. I kid you not, people. A story broke 3 days ago. 5 years ago, King Charles offered the position to the man formerly known as Prince. Canada would have offered Harry structure, a title tied to duty, real service, and purpose. All he had to do was say yes, become a citizen, get rubber stamped by the PM, serve something bigger than himself. But he chose streaming instead of statesmanship, and Netflix instead of nationhood. Way to go, Harry. Fast forward to today, you got the Jordan trip, UN leadership councils, touring rehab facilities, and boom, hospital pop-ins with Meghan, all while she's posting on Instagram about selling new bookmarks. Yep, that really happened. I can see it now. She's walking the hospital corridors, posing for the cameras, one tear, left eye coming down. It's like, "Excuse me, anybody have the password to Wi-Fi? Got merch to move." And a few days before that, she was offering up some tips to entertain people at your home. Prepare the engraved ice cubes, open the fridge, get out a bottle of bubbly, and then wait for it. Chill the champagne. Wow. Mind blown. What do you do with that kind of wisdom of the ages? It's life-changing. Do I dance a jig, confess that I believe in miracles, or just wait to find out that Meghan Markle doesn't know how to open canned goods?
We have a soup, we have tomato paste, we have a lot of canned
These. Do they have the items to open all of these?
yes, they can open. Yeah.
Next week, be on the lookout. Meghan Markle will unveil her new humanitarian masterclass. Advanced techniques on opening ring pool cans. Module 1, the can. Module 2, identifying the tab. Module 3, pull. I can't say it enough. The Meghans need to have their title stripped now because everything they touch, they mock. They wanted out of the monarchy. They got it. They wanted freedom. They got it. They wanted to succeed in Hollywood. Well, they didn't get everything. The thing is, what we just learned on this trip, the Meghans, they don't want responsibility. They want symbolism. They don't want duty. They want optics. They don't want to serve the crown. They want to monetize it. And when the monetization fails, they pivoted to destabilization. Jordan is Exhibit A. If Andrew is a scandal, Harry is a symptom, and Prince William, he is the correction. In his court, it'll be titles tied to duty, access tied to service, and the end of the royal subscription model. It's only a matter of time. How long do you think it's going to be till Harry and Meghan have their title strip? I want to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, smash the like button. And my next video coming up, it's a doozy. We're going to turn up the heat for Slayer Nation because I'm going to be covering Jim Carrey. You got to have a lot of reaction channels are talking about the way he looks. No, here we go deeper than that. We're going to discuss how you had Hollywood's last rebel, the man who had every red carpet and every talk show would call out the fakery, the mania, the narcissism, the whole mirage. And he finally shredded his rebel card. And he became part of the Hollywood hive. Until next time, stay savage, stand tall, always forward.